Hey, it's Mike Rambo with J&J Financial. The Freddie Mac National Average is now 6.74%. And we did have two inflation reports come out last week that showed hotter than expected inflation readings. So in real time here, mortgage rates are a bit higher. Remember that the Freddie Mac number does lag. It only comes out once a week. So I would expect that next week we see that number climb higher to 7%, barring any big change in the market between today and Wednesday. Now, the big news is that NAR settled their big lawsuit that was around transparency and agent commissions, particularly on the buy side. And what it's going to result in is that the seller will no longer automatically pay for the buyer's agent commissions. So, the way that it will most likely be structured is that the buyer's agent commission will be a line item on the buyer's closing costs. Now, I think a lot of agents will still negotiate and structure a contract so that the seller is still paying for it and you're just getting credits to account for it. However, with current loan guidelines, this may be an issue for investors and also more the first time buyer that's looking to get a conventional loan. So there's a metric called IPC, interested party contribution, from Fannie Mae, and every lender will have this. And for a Fannie Mae loan, just your standard conventional loan, if somebody's putting less than 10% down, then they can only get up to 3% IPCs. So imagine if your buyer's agent is getting a 2% commission, then that means 2% of the three allowed is going just towards that. And if the person was hoping to have the seller pay for their closing costs because they're tight on funds, or maybe there's a repair that needs to be done and they just wanted to give them credit towards that, then they're going to be limited in that capacity. So it's very possible that they'll decide to do this in a different form of mechanics where it's not structured this way. We don't have this potential issue with IPCs. And it's also possible that this is how it will be, but Fannie Mae will update their guidelines. So maybe the buyer agent commission is separate from the other IPC calculation, or they increase the IPC. But nonetheless, when this rolls out in a few months here, this is probably the number one thing that I see of how lending is going to be affected. And last thing is that I will be doing a training through Orange County Realtors next week. It's going to be next Thursday from 3 to 4. I included a link for you to register. And the class is going to be on condos, and not just from a lending perspective, but how to close a condo purchase from start to finish. I'm going to have some guest speakers from escrow as well as insurance. And we're going to talk about a lot of different topics because condos are just different. There's a lot of things that go into it compared to a single family home. I see it's a pain point for a lot of people that haven't been through that process before. So if you're a realtor and you're interested in the class, check out the link. I'll see you next Thursday. It's a free event. Other than that, I hope everybody has a great week. We'll talk next time.